Hi guys and welcome to my channel. So today we have review about the Sherco. So let's talk about the handling. So the Sherco is really different when you compare to the KTM bikes. So the KTM from Austria is handling really different. So Sherco is something like Yamaha YZ250 or maybe older like Honda CRF 250 two-stroke. So it's really handling like motocross bike. It's really good because you have really good control on the front. On the KTM the front is not that stable. Also it's really good because the Sherco has the Kayaba suspension what is really stable and it's going to make you really comfort on the bike. So before buying the Sherco, make sure you don't compare it to the KTM because the feeling when you ride it is really different. Also the foot pegs are really high when you compare to the KTM. So if you own like Sherco like me, I suggest you to get like lower foot pegs. It's going to improve the grip, but also this bike is having amazing grip on the rear tire. So it's really strange how the difference is when you compare to the KTM bikes. So but like every bike it has like some good things and bad things. So the handling is really good in like zigzags, hard extreme stuff, but on like full throttle wide open uphills I like more the handling of the KTM bikes. So the Sherco is just wanted to go on the rear wheel like wheelies on the uphill, so that's not good. I tried to adjust the sag suspension, but yeah, the bike is looking like shorter than the KTM. Maybe it's reason why that is happening, I don't know. Also the bike has some like vibration and that stuff. So I'm going to show you now my handlebar and what I changed on the bike. So I didn't change it that much on the handling of the bike and handlebar. So the Brembo is coming stock on the Shercos like on the KTM bikes. So this is the master cylinder 10 like the on the KTM models. So if you want to make the pull really light, get 9. So it's super easy trick to get really light pull. It's working on the Sherco, KTM and also. So but for me the stock is also okay. I'm using the 20 MX 20 lever, it's called the name. It's flexible, so it's really hard to break it. Also if you bend it you can get free one. Just send the email to the 24 MX. On the another side I changed the throttle tube because I bent the stock cable and it break from the starter on the Sherco housing of the throttle tube. So also what I didn't like it, I wanted to use the Audi grips with the stock Sherco throttle tube and it was not working how it wanted. It was fitable but it was really pain, so I got the housing tube for the throttle from the KTM. So this one is from the KTM 2017 EXC with Mikuni carb. So also I have the flex lever on the another side. So from the top the bike is really perfect, I like it. Only what I hate on this bike is adjusting the front suspension. So it's not easy to adjust the front suspension because the handlebar is in the way of the screw, the clicker one. So you need to remove the handlebar to adjust few clicks, so that is really no point. I don't know why the Kayaba is doing like forks and fork caps like this. So it's hell no. Please make it like on the KTM to adjust with the hand. Please do that. Also on the bike I got the Motion Pro bleeders for the forks. It's the must for enduro riding because bleeding the forks before every ride is really important, trust me guys. So yeah, that's about the handlebar. So let's move on the cap. So I really like the cap on the Sherco. It's more better than the KTM for me. Only what I didn't like how they fitted this tube for fuel, because the fuel is getting then on this triple clamp bearing. I don't know what is the name in English, sorry guys, but you know what I mean. So it's not good. It's going to clean lubrication from the grease from the bearing, and it's going to shorten the life of this item. So I didn't like that. And it's also not that easy to bend. I had problems when the bike was in the winter. It's making to break this hose because it's really stiff. So another thing what I didn't like on the Sherco, it's the plastics. So this plastic is really stock. I didn't change anything. I just changed the rear fender because I break one. So the plastics is really stiff. Not that good like on the KTM models, but yeah, okay, for 260 hours going full Erzberg, not the full Erzberg, but I raced the Erzberg Prologue Erzberg race. I was 174 position on the end of the race. So yeah, but plastic is really stiff. It's then breaking really easy, more than on the KTM models. So as you can see, is breaking here. Also I use it so much, zip ties, and yeah, but for 2060 hours it's okay. Yeah guys, trust me. So another thing what I didn't like on the Sherco, the linkage is really easy to bend and damage. So I got the X-Grip super nice skid plate. It's protecting the engine also from the bottom end. Also, by the way guys, I don't use the pipe protection because I got this pump. So with this pump, with the water pressure, it's easy to fix it in few minutes. So that's good thing. Also, if you have carbon protection, it's easy to bend the pipe, and then it's making the problems to fit it on the cylinder and the mounts and that stuff. Also, by the way, when I look on the engine, the Sherco is not best with the clutches. So with 2019 I had really big problems with the clutch basket and the clutch plates. So now I fixed that problem. I used the 21 basket, clutch plates and every set. So now it's working really perfect, no any problems. Also on the back, the Sherco is using the Brembo brakes like on the KTMs. So if you want brake pads, you can also order from the KTM. It's going to fit on the Sherco, so no any problems. So by the way, the suspension is working amazing. I like how the Kayaba is feeling, how it's working. It's really good on the faster stuff also. In slower stuff it's also working. So by the way, I had the modification on the suspension from the shock suspension. This company is from Poland. They did really good revolving for my forks and suspension on the rear shock. I did that before the racing the Erzberg Rode. So now the fork and the shock is really soft when you compare with I got from the stock when the bike come from the factory. Also, the plastics on the front radiators are not that good. So, but yeah, the rims on the bike are really tough, no any problems. It's really hard to break it. Also, the brakes on the bikes are working amazing, really good, no any problems. So on another side, the engine is so in the balance of the mass balance is everything is going to center on the bike. So the handling of the bike is amazing. It's nothing compared to the KTM. This bike is really machine for extreme stuff. It's really working good, no any problems. Also, this small electromotor is keeping the power really smooth, really not aggressive, so it's really strange. Also, by the way, when you start to ride the Sherco, it's really strange because this bike is too much smooth. It's so easy to ride it, it's not believable. Also, by the way, the carb, it's not easy to adjust the jetting because the carb is really close to the engine, so you need to remove the tank, flip the carb and change the jetting. Also, by the way, you see this blue screw. It's really good thing, really good modification for the bike. So I got this to adjust with the hand air mixture. So also, by the way, guys, you see this reed bolt. So this is something really cool feature on the Shercos. So I made this color to the red. So I can remember this bolt is from draining the water and the oil if you have in the magnet in the starter area. So it's going to remove everything from this cover. So if something happens, you never know what happens in extreme stuff. Also, from another side, it's another bolt. I also made the same colors. So if you get like drowned in water, you get engine full of water, just remove this screw. It's going to remove every water from the crank, and it's easy to ride it again. On the KTM, trust me, it's really hard to remove water from engine. Also, by the way, the tank is really big. I think it's about 10.5 liters, so it's really enough for full day of racing. Also, the FMF it was working really nice, but trust me, now it's looking like beep. So what I replaced on the bike, so the throttle tube with the starter. Also, I replaced the levers because I didn't like the stock. It's easy to bend it. So I replaced the basket, clutch plates and that stuff on the bike. I also replaced the linkage and the link. So that is also I replaced the radiator fan. The stock one stopped working, I don't know, but yeah, you know, we're going through water and that stuff, so everything is possible. So from another side, I replaced the front sprocket, rear one, the chain, about on 150 hours. So yeah, I didn't do much on the engine. I replaced one time the piston on 75 hours and then again on the 160 hours. So yeah, I don't know, are you going to believe me, but I didn't replace the bearings inside the rims. So 260 hours and the stock bearings in the wheels, so rear, also in the front. So that's really strange. I don't know how the Sherco made this. What is inside? Super strong bearing or what? Or maybe the sealing is so good made, no any water is going inside. So I don't know. On the KTM, every 50 hours I need to replace it. So what is happening here? I don't know. It's so strange. So at the end of this video, I'm going to say it was really good bike to own it for like 2 years. I didn't have any like problems. So if you ask me if it's good bike, yeah, it is. The parts are more cheap than for the KTM models. So the handling is also super nice for extreme stuff. The bike is handling really nice. So I didn't had like big problems, like small, like every bike had some problems. So if you ask me if I'm going to buy again the Sherco, yes, why not? It was really good bike for me. Also, why to choose the Sherco and not the KTM? So the parts are like cheaper than 40% than on the KTM models. So the most parts. So So cheap parts, it's number one. So the second part is the bike is handling really different than the KTM. And it's more easy to like control the bike in extreme stuff like zigzags, pivot turns and that stuff. Also the Kayaba suspension on factory model. I'm not going to talk about the Kayaba. You know what the Kayaba is, it's magic. So the next thing is also the most parts like front disc is from Kawasaki, also fittable. The brakes from the KTM, Husqvarna, so it's almost the same. Also the clutch plates are going to fit from Honda CRF, I think 450. So yeah, the most parts on the bike are like fittable from another bike, so you're not going to have like problem with the parts. So I know I talked really much, but I didn't say like important stuff. So sorry guys, my English is not the best, so it's really hard to choose the words how to explain you what I think about the bike. So also on the back you have like fluid reservoir for the coolant. I don't see the purpose about this, it's working, but the Sherco is not like splitting the coolant because the engine is not getting that hot, because you have automatic switch for the cooling fan. So what is the bad thing about the Sherco? So the first one, everything is really close. The parts like engine, the carb, the radiators, you see it's almost really close, so it's really hard to work on this bike, really hard. So no any free space to make your hand inside or some tools. So if you want to jet in the carb, you need to pull it out. So that's bad things. So the good things on the Sherco, you're going to have like coolant bleeding system, bolts for the like water in the engine, also from another side. So yeah, that is like really good things. It's also easy to remove the seat. So thank you very much guys for watching this video to the end. If you want more like videos about bikes from the garage, just comment below and I'm going to make it for you. So thank you very much.